Bhagwan Rishabhdev, a complete story of our first Thirthankar Bhagwan Rishabhdev. Bhagwan Rishabhdev. This story is from prehistoric Avsarpini times when people had few desires. All were happy as their lives were based on truth, morality, and contentment. There was no ruler and no ruled. All desires were fulfilled by Kalpa Vruksha. There was no conflict. Avsarpini time cycle was a very, very long time ago. Kalpa Vruksha is the divine tree that fulfills all desires. Gradually, population increased. Fruits of Kalpa Vruksha were not enough. Needs increased. This developed friction and conflict. Then, to bring order and discipline, people selected Nabi Rai to become their chief. We make Nabi Rai our chief. Long live Nabi Rai. Nabi Rai's queen was Maru Devi. On the 4th day of the dark half of Asar month, she saw 14 auspicious and significant dreams. This made her wake up. She went to Nabi Rai and said, "Dear, what will be the result of those auspicious dreams? You'll deliver a great divine son." On the 8th day of Chaitra month, Maru Devi delivered a bright baby boy at midnight. The whole earth got illuminated for a while on his birth. All humans, angels, birds, and animals felt delighted. Angels and humans rejoiced the birth ceremony. Nabi Rai decided to name his son. Our son has a sign of Rishabh, an ox on his chest. So we'll name him Rishabh. When Rishabh was about 1, Lord of Angels Indra came with Ikshu, sugarcane. Seeing him attracted to Ikshu, Indra said, "This ilk will be known as Ishkavaku." Grown-up Rishabh married to 2 females, Sunanda and Sumangala, and pioneered the system of marriage. He got Bharat, Bahubali, etc., 100 sons and 2 daughters, Brahmi and Sundari. He trained people for defense, farming, mathematics, trade, and manufacturing of pots, etc. Till the times of Nabi Rai, man was disciplined and harmless. Gradually, violent ideas crept in. Disorder increased. Frightened people came to Rishabh to complain. "Sevas Kumar, guide us." To keep the society organized, you need an intelligent and brave king. You put forward this demand to Nabi Rai. "Lord, give us a king who can protect us." Only Rishabh is suitable for the job. We accept Prince Rishabh as our king. King Rishabh, long live. Nabi Rai declared Rishabh the king. Rishabh's coronation was celebrated. Nabi Rai and Maru Devi blessed their son. All Yuglik groups, sons, Bharat, Bahubali, etc., and daughters, Brahmi, Sundari, were present. Yugliks poured sacred water on his feet. The city where Rishabh stayed was named Vanita. King Rishabh divided duties to govern the society properly. He deputed brave people for protecting society. They were called Kshatriyas, or warriors. Those who were experts in buying and selling were called Vaishyas, or traders. The people who looked after sanitation were called Shudras. Developing and flourishing the nation, King Rishabh grew older. Once he thought, "I should hand over the state to the sons and be relieved." The eldest son, Bharat, was assigned the state of Ayodhya. Bahubali got Takshashila, After handing over other states to the remaining sons, King Rishabh felt relieved. One day, King Rishabh Dev was watching the dance by Nilanjana, a dancer. The entire audience was watching with interest when suddenly Nilanjana fell unconscious on the floor. "Your Highness, she is dead." How short is the human life? How fragile is the body? He immediately decided to forsake luxuries and embraced monkhood. I will relinquish these luxuries, meditate at a higher level, and win over death. Just then, all gods of 9 heavens appeared and said, "O great man, your decision is magnificent. You teach people the path of relinquishing, restraint, and discipline." On the 8th evening of the dark half of Chaitra month, Rishabh Dev reached a garden on the outskirts of Ayodhya. Thousands of people followed him. Standing under the Ashoka tree, he plucked his own hair and surrendered all material wealth, becoming the first monk of his time. God Indra, along with other gods, appeared there and requested him, "Lord, please don't remove that lock of hair in the center. It looks grand." Respecting Indra's sentiments, he left a tuft of hair while removing the rest. Seeing Bhagwan Rishabhdev becoming a monk, 4,000 people, including King Kach, Mahakach, etc., decided to become monks and followed the Lord in the jungle. Once Bhagwan Rishabhdev arrived with his disciples in a town for food. To welcome them, people brought various types of fruits, sweets, and gifts. But Rishabhdev thought, "I'll eat only simple food. I can't have all this. My Lord, we have brought this gold jewelry for you. Lord, I have got sweet fruits for you." Not getting simple food, Rishabhdev returned back in the jungle hungry and thirsty and decided to do penance. Due to starvation, many disciples approached the Lord. "Lord, what sort of food should we eat? Please quench our thirst." But Rishabhdev, withdrawn in deep meditation, didn't respond. When the pangs of hunger and thirst became severe, the disciples started eating the fruits and legumes. Along with Lord Rishabhdev, 2 kings, Kach and Mahakach, had also embraced monkhood. At that time, their sons Nami and Vinami were far away. While returning, they saw their fathers roaming in the jungles as hermits. "Oh, father is roaming in the jungle in this way. What happened to the kingdom?" Father Rishabhdev has distributed the entire empire along with all his sons and has become an ascetic. We too have followed him. Great Father distributed the emperor among all? Then where is our share? We also demand our rights. Nami and Vinami located Rishabhdev. They told him, "Lord, you have given kingdoms to Bharat and others. Give us kingdom too. We will consider that small wealth also divine." But Rishabhdev had taken a vow to keep silence. Seeing him silent, both the brothers sat in a meditative worship to please the Lord. One day, Dharnendra, the king of snakes, came to pray to the Lord. Seeing the devotion of the princes, he asked, "Who are you? What do you want?" "We have come to get the kingdoms from the Lord. Our devotion will fulfill our desires." Dharnendra was happy to hear this. He took Nami and Vinami with him to Vaidatya mountain, where they established towns with his help and reigned happily ever after. A year after renouncing the world, Lord Rishabhdev still did not receive pure food according to rituals. Due to scarcity, he had become physically very weak. Traveling through villages, one day he reached Hastinapur. In those days, Hastinapur was ruled by King Somprabha. His son, Prince Shreyans Kumar, dreamt that night that he was clearing dirt-filled Meru mountain with Amrut. Prince Shreyans pondered upon his dream. Definitely a special gain is to be bestowed upon me. Next morning, the prince was sitting in the palace balcony when Lord Rishabhdev passed by. Seeing him, Prince Shreyans recalled his past life. This is my great father, Lord Rishabhdev. In the previous birth, I too lived with him as an ascetic. Oh, Lord has still not consumed food or water since 1 year. A wave of devotion smelled in the heart of Shreyans. He came down, bowing to the Lord. He requested him to accept sugarcane juice. Lord, please accept this pure sugarcane juice and thus bless me. Honoring the request, Rishabhdev drank the sugarcane juice. This auspicious day was the third day of Vaisak month. Lord Rishabhdev broke his 1-year fast by accepting sugarcane juice. Therefore, according to Jain tradition, this day has become famous as Akshay Tritiya. In memory of this day, even today, lakhs of people perform Varsitap, 1-year fast, 1 day eating, and next day a fast. On the other side, in Ayodhya, Rishabhdev's mother, Marudevi, not receiving any news of her son, became restless. She met her grandson Bharat and spoke, "O Bharat, it's 1 year since my son Rishabhdev has renounced the world. Please get me his news." Emperor Bharat sent envoy in all 4 corners to get news of Rishabhdev. For many days there were no news. Suddenly, one day, 3 messengers entered the Raj Sabha. "Congratulations, Your Highness, the Queen just gave birth to a royal son." "Your Highness, the news has been received that Lord Rishabhdev attained Kevalgnan under the banyan tree outside Puri Matal town." "Greetings to His Majesty, a bejeweled chakra has appeared in the ammunition room." More important than the sun and bejeweled chakra is the salutation of the Lord. Therefore, we must first celebrate the Lord's Keval Gnan. Keval Gnan means absolute knowledge. Bharat gave the auspicious news to Mother Marudevi. Bharat went alongside with Mother Marudevi to worship Lord Rishabhdev. When the procession reached the gates of Samoasaran, Bharat gave description of Rishabhdev's divinity to Marudevi. "See, Swami Rishabhdev's spiritual grandeur is magnificent. Oh, I was simply worried. My Rishabhdev is truly great." Entering the Samoasaran, Chakravarti Bharat bowed down to Lord Rishabhdev. Because of mind's pure and intense concentration, Marudevi recollected all her previous births. She understood everything. "Oh, due to my ignorance, I am entangled in my desires. Rishabhdev has conquered all desires. Now for him who is the mother and who is the son. How serene Rishabhdev looks in his non-attachment." At that moment, a divine sound was heard. "Divine Marudevi has attained salvation." Bharat, "Lord, what am I hearing?" Bharat, "Due to purity of her feelings, Mother Marudevi has destroyed all her karmas and attained salvation." Mother Marudevi became the first omniscient of our times. The 11th day of the latter Phagun month, Lord Rishabhdev gave his first religious sermon to his children. He created and established 4 religious tirth, namely monk, nun, shravak, and shravika. For establishing 4 religious tirths, Lord Rishabhdev was called as the first Thirthankar. Commencing the religion, he was known as Adi Nath. Adi means first, Nath means Lord, first Lord. The aim of life is not acquisition, but renunciation. Life is abandonment, not fondness. First know yourself, then show others the path to realization. Listening to Lord's sermon, Lord Rishabhdev's sons and daughters, Brahmi and Sundari, and crores of other women renounced the world. Rishabh became Lord's first male disciple. He established 4 vows for monks and 12 for householders. Lord, initiate our renunciation. Bharat returned back to his capital after paying homage to the Lord. Upon returning from celebrating Lord Rishabhdev's Kevalagnan, Emperor Bharat went to his arsenal and performed puja of the bejeweled chakra. Bharat mulled, "Now I must set out for overall victory." To conquer all states of India, Bharat set out with a huge army for triumph. Years later, when Bharat the victor returned back to Ayodhya, they celebrated the conquest. He established 6 principalities under his realm and thus became the first Chakravarti emperor. Chakravarti means emperor of the world. In his victory celebration, Bahubali and other 98 brothers did not participate. Therefore, Bharat sent a messenger. Either all of you must obey Chakravarti or else be ready for war. Listening to Bharat's message, all brothers had a secret meeting. We must have a war. We will go to our father and seek his guidance. All brothers went to Lord Rishabhdev. Our Lord Father, the kingdoms you have given us, Bharat is being very greedy. It does not feel right to fight Big Brother. Should we fight according to principle? Please guide us. Rishabhdev spoke. I'll tell you a story to solve your problem. Lord Rishabhdev starts telling a story. Once there was a foolish woodcutter. He lived by means of cutting wood in the forest every day. Once, because of an intense heat, he felt an acute thirst. In search of water, he ran helter-skelter, but could not locate water anywhere. Troubled over his parched throat, he laid down in the shadow of a tree and fell asleep, and he dreamt that he went to a well and drank all the water, and still he remained thirsty. Then in the dream he went to the banks of a river and drank up all the water, and still his throat was dry. In spite of drinking the ocean, he remained unquenched. Running here and there for water, he came across a wet bunch of twigs. He tried to squeeze out every drop of water to drink. Then, with a twist in his arm, he awoke. The dream was broken, and he was in the same arid land. After relating the story, Lord Rishabhdev spoke to his sons. Sons, the thirst which did not subside even after drinking the river and ocean, will it go after squeezing drops from wet twigs? No, never. Sons, desire is peculiar aspect of mind's thirst. After conquering 6 states, when humans' wants are insatiated, then how will it be satisfied by conquering small kingdoms? Desires encourages more desires. Satisfaction reduces desires. You must bring out the hidden internal divinity within your soul. You must acquire the soul's infinite wonders. Comparatively, The glory of the three worlds will be worthless. Listening to Lord Rishabhdev's heart-rendering speech, the 98 brothers became weary of their kingdom. Bowing down, they renounced their kingdoms and embraced monkhood. Rishabhdev's second son, Bahubali, had more strength and vigor than Bharat. He too received Bharat's message of accepting subjugation. He was upset over the news of his 98 brothers' renunciation, upon which Bharat's message was like adding salt over his wounds. Bahubali flew into a rage. Bharat has no rights over the kingdoms given by father. In spite of that, if Bharat tries to take over, then the result will be a war where Bahubali's powerful arms will compete. Messenger returned back to Emperor Bharat and read Bahubali's message. We will not accept supremacy. Without conquering Bahubali, Bharat's Chakravarti Empire was incomplete. Therefore, he declared war on Bahubali. Prepare for war. Both armies faced each other and stopped. To see this great war, hundreds of gods and demons gathered in the sky. God Indra felt anguish at the imagination of enormous human destruction. Being sons of non-violent person, Lord Rishabhdev, you are promoting a war. What a shameful thing. To cease the human destruction, the army will act as silent spectators while you two brothers will have a dual fight. Whoever wins will be the victor. To stop the unnecessary bloodshed, God Indra came and stood in between the two armies. First commenced the war of staring. Bharat and Bahubali stared, glaring at each other's eyes without blinking their eyelids. By evening, Bharat's eye blinked. Then there was a war of screaming. Their vociferous bellowing scared the life out of horses, elephants, etc. On the third day was the wrestling fight. Bharat enclosed Bahubali in his embrace. Bahubali hit Bharat so hard that he descended up to his neck in the ground. Bharat set upon Bahubali. Bahubali swung Bharat in the sky, and when he started falling, Bahubali caught him, and thus he lost in wrestling fight. In despair and bitterness, Bharat forgot his limitations, and in exasperation he threw his chakra. But it was a divine chakra. It does not kill blood relatives, therefore it circled Bahubali and came back. In fury, Bahubali raised his fist to strike Bharat. Bharat became alarmed. Observing the view, God Indra, other gods, ministers, priests, came in front of Bahubali and pleaded to him. O great warrior of our times, please cool your temper. Killing your brethren will give a bad name to the Ishkavaku clan. You are noble. Please forgive him. Hearing the request of the gods and respected citizens, Bahubali's raised hand stopped and began to think. They all are right. For a small piece of land, I am about to kill my father-like brother. How disgusting of me. My pride made me blind. I can't kill my brother. My enemy is not my brother, but my arrogance. I don't need any kingdom nor honor. I will follow the footsteps of my revered father. With that raised hand, Bahubali removed his royal crown, his vest, and all the hair on his head, and thus became a monk. Glory be thy Bahubali. Praises to the Adishwar's son, Bahubali. The victor of the world is to be the victor of the soul. Bahubali, the conqueror of Chakravarti, was defeated by the mind's ego. He started thinking. If I go to Lord Rishabhdev, then all my younger brothers who became monks earlier will be present. How can I offer my obeisance to those younger to me? The small question of pride entered Bahubali's mind like a thorn. For 1 year, he deeply meditated standing like a Himalaya. Creepers grew around him, and snakes and other creatures entwined his body. Soil solidified at his feet. Birds had built their nests in his matted hair. One day, nuns Brahmi and Sundari came to Lord Rishabhdev. They asked him, "Lord, where is Bahubali, the great monk, practicing penance? Has he attained Keval Gnan?" Just as the sun can hide behind a small cloud, in spite of hard penance, Bahubali cannot attain Keval Gnan because of the cloud of pride which is obstructing his divine light. Amidst the jungle, standing like a hill, Bahubali was surrounded by leaves, creepers, and snakes, looking like a sandalwood tree. Brahmi and Sundari could not recognize him. They began to sing in their divine voice, calling their brother. "Brother, wake up. Please understand, Keval Gnan cannot be obtained while sitting on the elephant. Pride is like the elephant. Knowledge is like the sun which is hidden. Please realize it." The sweet divine sound must belong to my sisters. What are they saying? I am riding on an elephant. Where is the elephant? I have given up everything. Oh, I am sitting on an eagle-like elephant. I left the kingdom. I left attachment of the body, but I did not leave arrogance. Why is this question stuck in my mind? This is what is obstructing my Keval Gnan. Bahubali started pondering. He saw the pride-like elephant raising its trunk in the mirror of his mind. On stepping out, the pride-like elephant vanished. Upon receiving Keval Gnan, Bahubali's every sense rejoiced. From the sky, gods showered flowers. A divine sound echoed, "Glory to Kevali Bahubali." Monks are always noble. My greetings to all big and small, monks and nuns. I am going at the feet of Lord Adishwar. Once more, Chakravarti Bharat came to pay respect to Lord Adishwar, Lord Rishabhdev. Seeing his 98 brothers and Bahubali as monks present there, his mind repented over his actions. "Lord, I have done a great injustice to my brothers. I have blackened the purity of Ishkavaku clan. Lord, how can my misbehavior be forgiven? How can my heartburn find peace?" Bharat, serve those practicing penance. Promote those with good conduct. This is how you will obtain mental tranquility. One day, Lord Rishabhdev arrived at Ayodhya. Thousands of people, along with Bharat, went to hear his sermon. Fellow beings, lighten your mind by dispensing the affection for wealth. Just as light things rise upward, heavy things go downwards. In a similar manner, the more you have, the less you are, and the less you have, the more you are. In this religious congregation, a goldsmith was present listening to the preaching. Upon hearing it, he asked Lord Rishabhdev, "Lord, Emperor Bharat is a huge collector, while I have very little accumulation. Does that mean I will rise up while Bharat will fall?" "No, it is not like that. Bharat is like that lotus, being inside a pond but still distant, fulfilling his duties. Bharat is not an accumulator." Chakravarti Emperor and not an accumulator? Partiality in the Lord's house too? When Bharat saw the goldsmith in a perplexed state, he has not understood Lord's preaching. He should have grasped it. Next day, Bharat called the goldsmith to his palace. Giving him a bowl of oil filled to the brim, he said, "Keep this bowl in your palm and roam the entire Ayodhya city. Then come and tell me all what you saw. Remember, if you drop a single drop of oil from the bowl, then death sentence will be given to you." Goldsmith takes the bowl and travels the entire Ayodhya city and returns back to the royal court. Bharat asks him, "Tell me what you saw in the markets or streets of Ayodhya." "Your Highness, my entire concentration was on this bowl of oil. That is why I could not see anything." Upon hearing, Bharat laughed and said, "Did you understand anything? In this world full of luxury, even I am living like that. My full concentration is on my soul. I have nothing to do with this world's market or streets. Think I am still an accumulator? Your Highness, please forgive me. I did not fully understand deeply the Lord's teachings." Even though Bharat was a king, he was still pure in his soul. In this manner, teaching the significance of renunciation, forsaking of desires, etc., took Rishabh Dev thousands of years. One day he realized that his end was near. Knowing this, he went to Ashtapada mountain, Mount Kailash, and in a state of samadhi attained moksha. The end.